Welcome back, everybody, to Kusog7ande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. Kusog7ande here, excited to be able to host and show off a lot of these games that many people do not know. We call it a Bad Video Game Tournament, although Kuso can include weird, strange, bizarre, and a lot of times bad doesn't mean unenjoyable. So, you know, we're here for the strange and the lesser-known video games. Let's go ahead and let Crappy walk us on over to the game reveal. I think I'm ready for that. Come on, Crappy, take us away. Oh, look at her. She's so happy. Well, we have our third GM for the day. He is a little bit of scary, but I would say that's probably more due to the name than to the actual person. Please welcome on in our friend, Mr. Torture, who is choosing game number 3. Yeah, Crappy is no longer a vampire, so that's good. But Crappy also no longer has shoes, so that's a little unfortunate. Hello there, Mr. T.
Hey, bro. How's it going?
Going well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, just a nice Sunday.
Yeah, it is a great Sunday. People in chat, by the way, they're relieved that it's only Torture, Mr. Torture coming in. Yeah, we don't have Jeff. Torture is better than Jeff, is what sort of the hint that I'm getting right now here.
It could be true. Yeah. I can definitely stand by the fact that Jeff is much worse than I.
Now, I think that we have the game ready for you to reveal. So, What game do we have?
So, speaking of Jeff, today we have JP Ronny for the NES.
How is this speaking of Jeff?
Because this is another Asder game, the same from 1C from yesterday.
Okay, gotcha.
It was inspiring. I was inspired. I kind of been working on this game for a while. So I figured, okay, thanks to Jeff, okay, now this is a good time to bring it up.
Yeah, are you a robot? Is that a knight? What is this character on this?
I honestly do not know, because there's little next to no documentation about this game whatsoever. It's frightening.
I mean, that's fair enough, you know?
We can talk about the developer, about the game itself, but there's honestly no backstory, no introduction to the characters, other than I think this is JP Ronny. I believe.
I usually try to read lore and stuff for people, but it's just not happening today.
Honestly, I find this game outside the lore, it's very endearing.
Okay.
We will find out. Yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
Okay, that's good. Good. I like fun. Well, I mean, this is a tournament, you know? We're not here just to make people suffer, although suffering tends to be an after effect of a lot of what happens here. I'm working on trying to get the streamers' channels up as well. I actually don't know if any of them are live. Let me see.
They should be live. I was checking them all. I think they all are. Remember that one of them is using an alt. Well,
yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, I see that one. I'll be able to copy that in just a second, but the others, I believe I see 1, 2 of the streams live. Bright Shadow and Almeisha I'm still waiting on.
No, Almeisha is not part of this one. Bright Shadow is. Oh, let me paste. Yeah, there was a change.
Aha!
There was a change yesterday, so one of the competitor was not able to make it. So
Okay,
there was
well,
a
it
change
needs changed
yesterday.
on the spreadsheet then, because I
Yep.
did not see that change. Yeah. So let me go ahead and see who this is. Well, everybody, oh yeah, that's right. Almeisha got swapped out for Fart Explosion.
And yeah.
Which I love. I
Right,
love
yeah, I
that
remember.
name. It just made me laugh so much, okay? Let me go ahead, putting on the spreadsheet, Fart Explosion.
Fart Explosion.
There
Bright
we
Shadow.
go.
Concave Down. And Author Blues.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I don't know, there's always a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on, and occasionally people get swapped out and put in, and keeping everything up to date can sometimes be a little bit difficult, but we are doing pretty dang good today. Let me see if I can
This
get
is
there.
this is a big tournament. We can say that things happen, trademark.
Honestly, I'd say that out of all the things that could happen, this is one of the lesser ones. I've had a time, okay? Let me tell you. There was one time that doing a restream of 4 people, for some reason, Twitch decided, let's go ahead and show 2 streams on the same screen at the same time and just sort of flickered between the two. And I'm like, what the hecking crap are you doing? Maybe it was OBS that decided to do that. I was like, what is this? This is not normal. So yeah, the fact that we have very few technical issues these days, people have put in a lot of work in order to make things happen for the tournament. So thank you to all of the GMs who have done all of this fantastic work. Now let's see, what did I accidentally just do now? Crap.
Yeah,
okay.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just like the chat mentions, things trademark happen.
Yeah, and I'd say compared to other streams, I do okay most of the time. Most of the time, oh yeah.
Most of the time it's good, yeah, it's okay.
85% of the time.
We're just going to have a good time regardless of whatever happens.
I'm a little bit scared about this, by the way, because I'm looking and other people are going to see this in a little bit. I see this saying 20 in 1. We're going to have to get concave.
I'm going to explain. Okay, hold on. Let me tell them.
Yeah, concave down, unfortunately, they're not capturing the full window. So we'll
yeah.
It's okay, I hear you typing furiously.
Yeah, I need to work on that as well.
No, that's okay, you need to type.
Like, you hear my keyboard on the mic, I can work it out.
Okay. And now I have accidentally minimized everything, so that's great. Welcome to Kusog7ande, everybody, where apparently me trying to get stuff set up is just as good as getting the games going. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, let's see.
Hold on. Yeah, Bright Shadow. I think I gave you...
Yeah, Bright Shadow. Are you streaming?
No, the other one. I gave you another...
There's another alt.
Thing.
Okay.
Yes, besides the other alt. Yep.
We're going to do this, everybody. We're almost there. Everybody breathe. Especially me. Especially me. Okay, and now
I see chat going all about.
Made the game disappear and reappear. Okay.
I see chats going on about this game, and those are things I'm going to cover, so don't worry about it. This game is also part of a multi-card. I wanted to see if Author Blues can just, whenever you have the sound on for him, if you can show us the full start of the... No, yeah, whenever that happens. Because this multi-card has an intro, and it's very nice, and I want it to be seen at least.
I love multi-cards. I actually... The fun thing is I've got a couple handheld quote-unquote consoles from Data East, and a lot of them are essentially just they're multi-carts on a handheld emulator, and they're pretty shabby. But at the same time, you can find some really strange not good gems when you're looking through those. Let me go ahead and turn the audio up here and get it moved over to JP Ronny.
Yep.
Look at this, JP Ronny. He's like a knight. He just fell on his butt. What a silly guy. Well, on the top left is our favorite name, Fartsplosion. We have Bright Shadow on the top right. Bottom left, of course, our friend Author Blues. And bottom right, we have Concave Down. These are 4 players, and they will be trying to make as much progress as they can in an hour. So I would say go ahead. We can let Author Blues reset the emulator so we can get the beautiful, beautiful intro. I kind of like this music, okay? Not gonna lie.
The music is so good.
Like, the music for the last game was interesting, but this is kind of nice to have a change in pace for something that kind of sounds like...
Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's watch. Shoes. Oh, look at them. Okay, this is the perfect intro.
This is amazing.
Oh my gosh!
It goes on and on.
How the crap did they do something this good?
They just did. They were amazing.
This is possibly the best multi-cart in existence. It keeps going.
Yeah, it keeps going on and on. It's amazing. I really love this. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I think I am ready. Flannel Cat, if you happen to grab like 1 or 2 screenshots of those shoes, I wouldn't necessarily mind that because that could be a lot of fun.
Wink, wink. Okay, so we're about to start.
Not saying you have to, wink, wink, just possible. Okay, it looks like all the players are ready. Well, best of luck, everybody. I need you to get all of your best shoe emotes, or what else would be appropriate for JP Ronny?
Space. Anything related to space, I'd say.
Space! Shoes in space, and honestly, if you don't have either of those, you could just do something that's like cool dancing and stuff like that. Because we're doing the countdown, everybody!
Yeah.
Spam your emotes, spam! Make the world happy with all those feet. No. There we go. Good dancing. We got space, we got planets, we got
dancing.
That one guy from Monkey Island who talks a bunch. Stan. Yeah. Look at the dances. Yes. Oh, chat, I love you.
We see they started, I think. Yeah, timer.
Oh, crap. Wait. Where is my timer?
Oh.
I minimized it. There we go. It's going.
Oh,
it was going.
It's going.
It's just that when I accidentally shook a screen and minimized everything, the timer got minimized. So we're good. It actually started at the right time.
Yeah. So, let's start off with saying something about this game.
Sure.
As Chad mentioned before, this part is a multi-card by Astersoft, the makers of 1G and several other games.
Okay.
And the reason why I chose this game, it starts off really nice, but then it gets really stupidly hard. So this is where we're going to see many game overs.
Gotcha. Well, I really like the ramp up from easy to hard. That's always exciting for me. One thing that you'll notice, by the way, Author Blue's dying to it, is that the jump tends to be a little less what you would expect from a normal game. In fact, I'd say that this jump is a little bit more standard, possibly for Atari era. The movement up, over, and down. Although this
No,
is much
because
smoother than you would expect from Atari, is what I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of a smooth. I think that the jumping is the best and the worst movement you'll find across this game, because jumping is faster than walking or running, as you see for our friend JP Ronny, but that will not help you at all in later stages, because you won't find many platforms or space to jump, so we'll have to work your way around.
Aw, yeah.
And you also have to climb up or downstairs.
There's some benefits to the way that this jump works, specifically because you have the vertical movement first. That means that it's usually, if you can jump high enough to get on a platform, you're going to not hit the side of the platform while you're jumping up. But if you're not high enough, there's absolutely no chance that you're going to land on it.
You'll notice that there's a handful of platforms you will reach, but there's another handful of platforms which you will not reach. And for that, you will need some springs, which are made up of small patches of green in the floor. And you'll notice sometimes, or the springs themselves.
I can barely even see that green. I'm colorblind.
Okay,
so
it's there.
There are little bumps underneath the patches there that show that they're the springs. Like, I can tell there's a little bit of a difference, but that's just not the best color for me.
No, I get it.
At least they have a little bit of a different visual indication that helps along with that.
Yeah, at least I think that the only difference that shows you is that when you jump on those, the floor moves a little below, so you can tell you're actually jumping or something.
Yeah. Well, like the texture, there are a couple little half circles at the bottom of those inland springs. And so that's enough. It looks like Author Blues is unfortunately having a bit of a hard time jumping left, right, and then right into the pit.
Yeah, this is part of a troll stage, I'd say, because the game itself scrolls over to the other side. So if you go all the way to the right, and you're going to end up in the left. So that's going to be a critical strategy eventually with the players.
I'm a little bit worried, though, because Author Blues got a game over, went back to 1-1. It looks like we have Bright Shadow went there as well.
It's a possibility. We're going to see game overs and no continues.
There are no continues, okay. And no checkpoint like when you get to 2-1?
Nope.
Well, this is gonna be fun.
You see, this is why I mentioned that this is going to be a little fun and nice game, but it's going to be kind of brutal eventually. But
yeah,
to my defense, I tested this, and I tested it with some RGMs, and they made it further. Which tells me that the players themselves will find a way to get through this.
Oh yeah,
it's just going to take them some time.
I do know that we had chat ask, are any of the players colorblind? I'm going to go ahead and say that because there's enough of a visual indication otherwise for the platforms that are built in springs for the ground, that we are probably going to be fine. And they will be able to see what those platforms are, so they will be fine. It's just they'll have to figure, if any of the players are colorblind, they'll have to figure out that specific visual indication.
Yeah,
which
so far I think none of them have mentioned that. Yeah, so I think most of the players didn't mention anything about it so far, and some of them I know they've seen the demo for the game when it shows. So there's not much of a clear issue about that, I think, for the players.
Yep.
I'm going to talk about a little more further about what you have to do here, although it's kind of self-explanatory. You're JP Ronny.
Oh, hello, JP Ronny in chat. We have actual JP Ronny here.
Oh, hey, JP Ronny's around here. I know who. I think I have an idea.
I'm not completely sure this is your game, but I'm going to go ahead and say thank you if it is.
There is a user called JP Ronny, which I've seen around many times when I search for information for this game, so it might be that's in person.
I have a feeling it is. They have a Sonic OC, I think.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Maybe, yeah.
So JP Ronny has to collect all of these stars, flowers, whatever these that are here, in order to progress and get out to open the portal and go to the next stage. And they're going to have to do that several times. I think there's 5 stages per world. Each world introduces a new mechanic, and I think there are 5 to 6 worlds. And I think starting world 2, well, 2 or 3, depending on the player, it will get more complicated due to those mechanics that will be introduced later in the game.
By the way, JP Ronnie is like, sorry for messing with search results. They didn't mean for that when they picked this name. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is amazing. You are perfect. And I'm gonna go ahead and say, live your beautiful life, JP Ronnie.
Yeah, it's an amazing game. I love it.
That you showed up for this game somehow.
Okay, I see. There's also a thing. I see also blues going into the bonus stage. Each day, whenever you complete a world, you get to go to a stage that gives you a life, which will be useful. As I mentioned before, there are no continues in this game. You only get 4 lives. There is a ROM hack I've seen around that fixes that and gives you 9 lives, but it also fixes you some of the platforming in the game, and I don't like that.
You don't like that they made the game playable? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I
but
see.
There's progress.
Like, the first thing that I find searching for this game is a hack specifically for this game. And no. You can call it a fix hack. That's a cheating hack. Yeah, that's right. I'm calling you a cheating hack.
Yeah, we don't want that here. We can't have anything else but cheat hacks.
Yeah. By the way, this was made by Asder. There's also NTDEC, which is... I feel like the name of this company has come up fairly recently with another bootleg that we had.
This is a part of the bootleg that was showcased yesterday by Jeff, and NTDEC, as mentioned before, was Nintendo Entertainment Company, or they were called that. And Nintendo promptly sued them, and, well, they switched themselves to Asder.
Yeah, the game that we had yesterday, Huangdi, was made by this company as well. Whether or not they made this specific game, JP Ronnie, is another question. You know, this has very different physics from the specific game Huangdi, and from what I've seen when it comes to unlicensed bootlegs, anything like that, they tend to stick with the same physics when they make a new game, and don't start from the ground up. So I would imagine that they could be different teams, or, you know, they just had a small development team that worked on games for the multi-cart. You know, just pump out as many games as you can. You gotta throw them together. Bam, here you go.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, Asder and NTDC also had many names, which they were called for. So this is why sometimes finding for the things for this company can be a bit troublesome, because they were called either Asder and DDC, Caldron, I think, which is another part of another multi-cart, and I think even Megasoft, which was another company that gave games.
No, I actually know, apparently one of the games on this cart is essentially a hack of Brush Roller, where they just changed some stuff, and Brush Roller has a face that some people here know. Let me see if I can find this and put it up for y'all, because
also known as Pink Jelly.
Yeah, I hate Pink Jelly. I hate Brush Roller. Let me see. Is it the same as Pink Jelly? It looks a little bit. It's not quite the same as the Pink Jelly that I know and hate.
Oh yeah, Pink Jelly something else. Oh, and even JP Ronnie has Pink Jelly around, I see.
There are multiple Pink Jelly games out there, and I hate them.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Brush Roller for you. He's running.
The thing about this game is that even if it's a decent puzzle platformer, as they mentioned, most of the times enemies can get, like, they make you think fast or die. That's the common theme in later levels.
Think fast or die. That is a horrifying lesson there.
Yep. Yeah, that's also a kind of thing, a theme for you, if you can think about it, about Kaizo games. Kaizo games mostly go around that. Think fast or die.
Yeah. I've actually played some of the games that are on this 20 in one cart, like Magic Carpet 1001, which is also just called Magic Carpet in some instances. I've definitely played that. Adam and Eve, I'm pretty sure I've played.
Yeah, I think Fartsplosion showed a little bit about Adam and Eve. I think one of the things about Aster is that they made a lot of clones from recognizable games. For example, Adam and Eve, you can call it for, what was this, Balloon Fight, I think? Something like a Balloon Fight, I'd say.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would, I guess, make sense.
And this game is kind of takes a little of a cue from, I think, what's the name? I had it written down here.
What was that? Author Blues just got a launcher across the screen, and
welcome to the vertical springs.
I do not like those. That's horrifying.
They're mean. They are mean. Which other game I was on the search for that? Hold on. Yeah, Nuts and Milk, which is a Hudson game, where you have these two little party fellas searching for each other. And so many people believe, from what I've seen, that this game takes cues from that game, which is basically the same thing. Pick up fruits or stars, and then get to the portal, which is kind of like you have to meet Yogurt, which is the other character from Nuts and Milk. So, Aster, you took a lot of inspiration from there.
Yeah. So, as it turns out, it looks like Author Blues got a game over. That's fine. We're going to see the players get a lot of game overs. The important thing is that they learn from, I wouldn't even say the mistakes, but from the various deaths that they have, and that the next time, they're able to make a little bit more progress. And so, that was a really good push by Author Blues. Did lead to a game over, but not a huge deal.
Not a huge deal, because most of the times you'll find your way around back to where you were. I think this game leans a lot on the repetition itself, and since most of the enemies have a set pattern, I think, for example, this little green lizard that jumps around will follow you wherever direction you're running, but it will jump and eventually it will fall to its death. And then there's the ghost that shows up on either side of the screen, whichever you're most next to, that will go from one place from one side to the other, which will not be a problem. Most of these enemies are pretty predictable, but the ghost, I think, is the one we're seeing from Bright Shadow right now. It's kind of an issue because it doesn't have a set pattern. It will follow you, but it will also drone from one place to another. It will go around, and eventually you're going to get caught up by another enemy in the stage. So they're kind of tricky. So
the biggest issue with this company is that I actually support unlicensed games very much so, and I think that bootlegs have a place. This is what I would consider an unlicensed game. All of the assets, all of the music appear to be original. However, the company also sold pirated games, and it also sold pirated games in the US, and that is a big no-no. 2 of the employees got arrested, and the company was sold. Nintendo being awarded over $24 million after that. And guess what? The company just sort of disappeared and then renamed itself and kept doing stuff. So, yeah.
They didn't care much.
I mean, yeah, the thing is, if you have your company headquartered in another country, how are they going to enforce that action other than shutting down your work in the US or in Japan? They definitely had that shut down, but they were able to still make video game either pirates or unlicensed games for other countries. So, you know what? Yeah, they probably made a whole lot of money, and if they wanted to contribute or continue to operate and put out their subpar video games in the US, they would have had to cough up all that money. I don't know if they actually ever paid that money, but yeah.
I'm not sure on that itself, but they must have eventually did something. But I'm thinking that Nintendo cracked down on them in China, and it's part of a big crackdown they had on unlicensed game and pirated consoles back then. Nintendo has always had an issue with pirated consoles, especially in China and overseas.
I sort of understand that because you know, if a company manages to go and make their own hardware that will run games, that could have been considered questionable in that time, and you know, probably was. But I imagine a lot of them may have directly like stolen code and stuff that they used, and you cannot get away in larger countries using directly stolen code and stuff. You know.
I'm not sure about games themselves. Yeah, that can happen. But as for hardware, bro, I can tell you, I had 2 Famiclones. This is how I knew about NES games, because I had Famiclones here in Argentina.
Oh, okay.
And Nintendo eventually aligned with one of those Famiclone companies, and they became official sellers of Famiclone consoles. Yeah, it's nuts.
I mean, yeah. The funny thing is that like a lot of the laws, you know, are vague enough that usually, like, I think that there is room for negotiations between different companies, and you know, if you are a good enough company in certain areas, you know, that are willing to like listen to the larger companies and willing to bend over backwards a little bit for them, then sometimes you can like manage to turn a potentially very bad situation into something that's good for you. But yeah, it appears that this company from Taiwan didn't quite do that.
No. I am specifically talking about another company that actually did that with Nintendo.
Yeah, what
but
company?
I'm not going to spoil them, because I'm going to bring them up eventually.
Oh, okay.
For another game.
Well, I mean, like, Dendy is something that has popped up quite a bit as
Dendy
well.
is a Russian, I think, company.
Yeah, but
And they eventually became kind of sort of official.
Sort of official, not completely. Like, it's sort of on the shrugs list of whether or not it was okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I think mostly had to do with the fact that Nintendo did not care much about NES game or NES games after the launch of the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
But at least by 1994 and 1995, they just went on with it. Even if there were releases.
I think that's another issue. Like, if you are trying to directly compete with the company that you are either borrowing or stealing from, then that is a big time for them to actually address it. But if you're doing it later after they've pretty much discontinued supporting it, then usually, you know, these bootleg or unlicensed companies could work a little bit more with it and, you know, essentially establish a truce at the very least, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of a truce that you can reach to if it doesn't hurt your business itself. Like, I'm thinking most of these companies were kind of got to an agreement with Nintendo, mostly because it wasn't their biggest or main goal at the time, at least for Nintendo or those other companies.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
at least in Argentina, we also had clones for Mega Drive consoles or Sega Genesis. And
yeah,
Sega Genesis,
like,
I think Sega didn't have a representation here.
They might not have had representation. I know that the Mega Drive, like, really received a long life in South America. A lot longer than anywhere else in the world. And, you know, there were some companies that made official games that only were released in South America for the Mega Drive. It's
Mega Drive,
really
but also the Master System. The Master System in Brazil was huge. Is huge still.
Yeah, for sure. Mega Drive and Master System, they're big.
The thing is that there was a toy company called Tectoy that made an agreement with Sega, so they were able to not only distribute, also produce games and consoles on behalf of Sega back then.
Yeah, I know that Tectoy, they were at least at one point more in the questionable, are they actually doing it properly place, but, you know, they resolved it. And I think that's great. Yep. They resolved it and managed to officially represent Sega, or officially make games for Sega. Yeah. So, yeah, simply put, video game history is really complicated. I would say that, even though there are video game companies that pretty obviously we're probably not following the laws, there were also plenty that, just there are laws sometimes on the book that just never get enforced, or that companies, are okay sort of bending over, or, working out an agreement so that, everybody can end up making a little bit of a profit and end up being happy. In general, though, especially with modern day things, I would say anybody trying to copy the hardware for a PS5 or an Xbox, they're probably gonna get in a little bit of trouble.
They may get a little trouble, but I think that those modern consoles themselves right now are kind of hard to replicate. It's not the same as it was before.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot harder to replicate. But if anybody successfully managed to get something that would natively play Xbox or PlayStation 5 games, then yeah, that could be an issue.
Hardware itself is not an issue, but software, yes, it is.
Once something is generally discontinued from a company, it's a little bit easier for places to figure something out and to make a system that works with it. I would say that that's one of the big issues. Follow the laws as much as you can. Especially with anything that is modern, because if you don't, you're gonna land yourself in the soup. But also there's yeah, there are a lot of things as well that I think are written on the books, but or that aren't even written on the books and are just assumed to be something that you're supposed to do. And it just never has really been tried in public, and it's something that most people don't want to do. And honestly, I would recommend, avoiding that as much as possible, because if you are somebody who works on your own little project and you get a cease and desist, even if it is your technical right to make a fan product that you aren't getting paid for and stuff, you really want to go up against a multi-billion-dollar industry.
No, I get it.
When you're making $20K a month. Yeah, you probably should just follow what they say, because it's not going to work out in your favor. It doesn't matter whether or not you're right.
I see chat mentioning that the spawn, the enemy spawns are really trollish here, and yes, they are. If you're going one place to collect something and you eventually popped up by an enemy, it's quite cruel, and I see all players are struggling with that. Sorry. I wanted to go back because this is something I was
just getting launched across the screen here. This little wizard man, it looks like Tella from Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 7, whatever, 4. He's just flying around. Maybe Tella/Sonic?
Yeah, he has
Silver
something like a quill. Yeah. Silver, Sonic, and Ghost. Ghosty Sonic, we can call him.
I like it. Ghosty Sonic / Tella from Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 74, there we go.
Final Fantasy. They have a little biscuit.
Yeah. I'm very much of the opinion that, there are a lot of companies out there who, even if they have the quote-unquote right to enforce certain things, definitely side with the fans, like Capcom. They could probably shut down a lot of fan projects, or a lot of things that people have made for, their characters, but have opted to instead support them. And I think that's amazing, whereas other companies have shut those down and enforced their right because they can.
Yeah, thanks to Capcom, we have Super Mega Man 2.
Yeah, and so it's honestly, I think there's a difference between, laws that are objectively true, like, don't kill people. Yeah, that one's a pretty good one. There's, really, there aren't very many situations where you're going to argue against that, but making a fan project, like, it really, I think there's room for arguing that, ethically, it's just doesn't make sense for companies to enforce certain things, you know. And honestly, the more that we support companies that support their fans, the better video gaming becomes, because then, you know,
I think,
yeah.
At heart, I think companies are still thinking every fan game or some fan games as a competition themselves, even if they're not making money out of it. They see a competition and they will just slam it down.
So yeah, that's my statement. Just because it is on the books in the legal system doesn't mean that companies have to enforce it. Bam. There we go. And that's how we have some of the best Sonic fan games in the world. Seriously.
Oh, we have some amazing Sonic fan games.
Amazing Sonic fan games.
I have once been part of a community that was kind of a neighboring community to Sonic Fan Gaming's headquarters, which is a fan gaming community. And I've seen so many games, awesome games, all sorts of games. There's a cool Twitter account that's Sonic Fan Gaming bot that retweets a lot of those games. And it's amazing. The sheer amount. Link it in chat, I think.
Some people are saying that sometimes they need to enforce it in order to maintain rights. Well, like, great, go ahead and let them argue that and have it specifically in writing. Nobody ever brings that up. And if companies bring that up, then sure, whatever, go ahead and let them talk about that. But no, it's never that. It's, we're losing money. Damn. Yeah. Okay, anyway, blah, 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 blah. It looks like chat is doing a really good job of keeping track. 2-5 by Bright Shadow so far. Bright Shadow appears to be doing the best, although all of the players have been making progress in learning the jank platforming of this game. I'd say that, honestly, for an unlicensed game, this isn't that bad. It's an interesting idea. It's, of course, it's been done before. You know, it's not completely innovative. Collect everything, and then the portal opens, and you get to leave the level. I'm not usually a fan of collectathons, but because it's a single-screen collectathon, I'm much more okay with this.
Yeah, that's one of the things why I also brought it up, because it's not very entirely complicated. And some people are asking, why is this Kusog7ande? I think one of the reasons is because of the difficult spike that you get to perceive most of the times. The fact that you don't have any continues, and the controls themselves don't align sometimes.
They're not the best. Yeah, if you saw Arthur Blues jump onto the spring, get wedged underneath the platform that was just, like, if you're one pixel a little bit off, you're not going to bounce all the way up, and instead you're going to bounce between a platform and a spring. And he wasn't able to adjust to that in time in order to actually get up on top of the platform, and instead went and fell into a pit. Like, I think that's a large reason. It's difficult to control right. It's like the opposite of a precision platformer. It's an imprecise platformer. But at the same time, you know, this is on a 20-on-1 cart. People are bringing up that the game doesn't have continues, which wasn't too abnormal when it came to games that were more of an arcade style. And this, I would say, is an NES game that definitely has some of that arcade feel. You notice that the weird witchy, floaty witch thingy that comes and kills you, it appears after a set amount of time. That's usually a speed-up mechanic that it's like, oh, hey, you're getting more obstacles because you're taking too long on this stage. Again, very typical when it comes to arcade-style games. Having a high level of difficulty where you're going to die a lot and restart over and over. Arcade difficulty is what I would say in arcade style. So, this fits that genre. And for a cart that has multiple games, usually you're not going to be playing the games more than a few minutes at a time. So, being able to have a game where, you know, you have one solid push for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can go ahead and say, okay, that was a good push. I feel like this works. It's not a great game, but at the same time, for what it is on a 20-in-1 cart, I'd say this is like better than almost every game on multi-carts that I've seen.
What I'm intrigued about the multi-cart is what was the price when they sold this? Because let's remember, I think it was Action 52 that sold like $40. I think was it then. And
wait, you mean $100? I think
it was $100. I can't remember right now.
I'm pretty sure Action 50. Well, no, maybe it was like 200. Oh my gosh, let me see if I can find this real quick, because they justified it like $4 per game. Somebody is saying Action 52 was $200.
Yeah, there we go. $200. So, I mean, I'm wondering, what was the price range that they sold this, or any of the other multi-carts by Esther? Just to justify that, because
they charged that much for it.
No, they wouldn't have charged you $200, I think. But what I'm getting to is that for arcade games, you had many games that rely on you chugging coins and being completely rude in order for you to charge coins. So, what's the boundary, I'd say, between, okay, I'm not going to charge you a quarter for this, but I'm going to charge you like a full game out of each of the 20 games.
I would honestly say $5 would be fine. Charge $5. This, like, yeah, a lot of the games aren't going to be great, but I would pay between $5 to $10 for probably this multi-cart. And
would you pay $5 for Brush Roller?
If it were part of the multi-cart, yes.
All right.
In fact, I might have, because I do have some of the Data East handheld consoles that are technically multi-carts. So I might have paid between $5 to $10 for Brush Roller. I don't know. I don't really want to go and look right now. I mean, I guess I'm sitting here and I could.
I get chat is mentioning something that Fart Explosion was not able to made it, and they said Fart did not make it out.
Yeah, the fart did not make it out. You just know it.
I'm sorry. Just found that amusing.
Everybody, you're making me think, because early today I watched a video by Danny Gonzalez, who watched the new Marmaduke movie on Netflix, and let me just say, the vast number of plot points surrounding farts is just absolutely inexcusable for the year 2022. There are too many farts. It is not okay. Oh my gosh, like, honestly, I've even just watching the review, I almost felt physically ill. No, because, like, there was one fart that actually literally killed multiple animals in the movie. I'm not even kidding you. Not only that, but that was part of a plot point that made Marmaduke's family lose millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars on farts.
Because of a freaking giant fart.
You just reminded me. I think it was the remake of Dr. Dolittle with
Eddie Murphy.
Interesting. No, the remake they did with the Iron Man actor.
Except that Dr. Dolittle was a remake.
It was a remake.
Okay, so it was a remake of a remake? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Freaking... Okay.
It was by Robert Downey Jr., yeah. And it has the most ludicrous fart joke I've ever seen. It made me groan so much. Granted, I have a group of people who might get together to watch bad movies eventually. So we know what we're getting into.
Oh, it makes me think... Possibly the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, White Chicks. There's about a 1 minute fart scene, and I hated it. Like, I physically hurt because of how much I hated that movie. It is... I don't hesitate to say that is probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I never want to watch it again. And what's great is that it was Justin's friend who came over and visited, and they were like, "Oh, there's this movie I love, and I want to show you. It's White Chicks." So we watched it, and I was like,
"No,
I'm never hanging out with you again," and I never have. So there you go, everybody. If you want, like, I wouldn't even watch that ironically, okay? It is just no-go for me. No-go.
Okay, I do find that movie sometimes fun, because I remember which one was it, because I wasn't aware that it was called White Chicks in English. I know by the Spanish name, which is called Y Dónde Están las Rubias.
I don't know what that means.
Where are the blondes, basically.
Oh.
The name. Blonde girls.
Blonde girls. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a little less. Yeah, like, I honestly,
it's a Saturday afternoon movie.
I honestly don't mind making fun of white people, but I'm also a white person, so, you know, that's just my personal opinion. It's just that movie has zero taste at all for anything. For anything at all. I hate it. I hate it.
It's all right.
So
I'm not going
much.
to defend it. Don't worry. I'm not going to defend it.
Good. If you defend it, you're no longer a GM if you defend that movie.
Do I get to go to the roar bean? The roar bean?
You're going into the blasphemous roar bin? Yeah, he's banned for Kusog7ande as well, yeah.
You see, chat, I saw what you mentioned before, that Bright Shadow is right in the lead right now because they managed to get to 3-1, which is a breakthrough, but they also game over.
Yeah.
Not much on that end. I'm not sure if we're going to see World 4. It took me a lot of time to get there, but okay,
By the way,
we'll see. We can still have like 20 minutes or so.
Okay, so here's the deal. This game isn't too interesting to watch. Like, I mean, it's fine. It's not great. It's just that, like, because most of the stages look fairly the same and they're jumping around collecting stuff, it's kind of an okay watch for me, but at the same time, like, I'm getting very distracted, and usually that's just, like, there's nothing that really grips me. Like, this game is very fine. It's very fine. Oh, geez, concave.
I think it's I thought it was okay game for a round 1, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so as well. Like the controls are jank.
I had in mind something else that I kind of show you recently, but I figured that was not kind of right for the round 1 type of game.
Oh my gosh. Silver the Hedgehog almost getting Author Blues there, but luckily Author Blues managed to get away. Okay. The important thing, how do you bait Silver the Hedgehog out? Can you get Silver the Hedgehog to target you?
No.
Come on. Oh
you
my
can,
gosh.
but you have to get really close to him.
He's really annoying.
Which in turn makes you, well, also bait the other enemies to get to you.
Yeah. There we go. On to 2-3. Concave down and Fart Explosion currently on the same level. It looks like Bright Shadow is working on this little level as well earlier on in the first set of stages. Although Bright Shadow, if I'm not mistaken, has made it to 2-5.
They made it to 3-1.
And people are saying Silver the Hedgehog moves on a pattern. Yeah, like, he sort of does zigzags, but occasionally I see him move a little bit higher or a little bit lower, and I'm not sure if there is any, like, if it is necessarily a set pattern or if it's just a little bit, like, random based off
of pattern, but I think what I was able to find is that if you get closer to them, they will follow you. If you move further away, they will go elsewhere.
The turns are definitely at fixed time intervals. Yeah, I would say that, like, you can reliably guarantee that he will turn, but if he's going to change his vertical or his horizontal movement to the opposite, I'm not sure what determines that.
there's
And
no way
honestly,
to
I'm not sure the players know if there's anything that determines that either, so that's fun.
No, they
Author
must have
Blues, how
found.
did you miss the portal? Oh my gosh. Literally jumped straight through the portal there.
Yeah, you can't get to the portal going the opposite way from the portal. You have to specifically go through it from the direction it points to. There's no other way to get to.
Oh my gosh. Climbing the ladder and hitting your head on the moving platform and getting knocked back down. That is fun.
That's an awesome, yeah. That's another part of the whole idea behind the movement itself of the game. It just doesn't work sometimes.
People are saying that they think that the Grey Ghost is supposed to be a Jiangxi, and I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. So we're on the same boat.
Chinese vampire / zombie, apparently. Okay. Which we did talk about vampires earlier. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Somebody said this game has today is Vampire Sunday, I guess.
Not much of a sun for these vampires, I think.
Yeah, apparently they are created when somebody dies. So big surprise. That's how vampires are made. However, some have disputed the comparison of Jiangxi with vampires, as they're usually mindless creatures. So a little bit closer to zombies, a little close to 1600s vampires, is what I would say. However, they're also greenish white, closer to zombies, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, more akin to zombies.
Yeah.
I like how Author Blues just decided to suicide over getting surrounded by the green demons and the Yanshi.
And you gotta do that, you know? Look at these. Godzilla just hopping around trying to get you. Like, he's got his grabby hands out as well, just wants to grab your butt. Not sure I mind. Wait, is that a new lead? Author Blues is on a bonus stage.
He seems to fly.
3-1.
Now he's even with Break Shadow, I think.
Okay, so this may be a tie then. A PB is pretty good. Yeah, honestly, you know.
If we get a tie, I think we're going to go with score, because you also have a score by each time you pick up anything. Well, the little flowers or stars in the game.
Did you tell them that it was going to be based off of score?
No.
Okay, because of that, I feel like the logical progress in the level is how many items they collected in that specific attempt. So we'd probably want to go and see how many they got. Bright Shadow and Author Blues both made it to 3-1. But yeah, we'll get
a check. I'll come into that.
In general, when we do not let people know a specific tiebreaker, this is information for chat, just so that y'all know. The general thing is that if we do not let you know what a tiebreaker it is based strictly on the progress that you have made through a level, and if there is a tie when it comes to that, then it would be whoever got there first. So score hasn't been made a point for the players, and we don't go and change it in the middle of a match in order to let them know, hey, this is what we're going to do. So it would be based off of the items collected in the level there.
You just reminded me, because I remember one of the matches where I was in that was decided by that. So yeah, basically by progress and who made it first, not by score.
Yeah. Unless otherwise stated before the match begins. But yeah, Concave Down is on to 2-5. Concave Down could potentially make a push for 3-1. And if so, then that would be a new... we would have a three-way tie. Unfortunately, Concave Down getting shadowed, or silvered, whatever, getting hedgehogged. Actually, that sounds even worse somehow. No. Heart Explosion just getting killed as well. Like, both of them are on 2-5. It's very close.
I think across all players, it's very even. Like,
yeah, this is kind of really fun to watch. Like, now that we're getting close to the end here, and now seeing the pushes. Yeah, these later levels are very difficult.
Yeah. And
Author Blues, by the way, I would have been tempted to keep holding up, but Author Blues has learned if you hold up and there's a moving platform above you, it will knock you down. And because there was the jumping witch below, that would have killed him. Author Blues showing the skill that he has learned about when to move and when to not move. It's very difficult, especially towards the end of a match when you start like doing the crunch, just trying to get your new PB. You start making a lot of mistakes. But he definitely has sort of learned some of the jankiness of this game.
Yeah, well, you get to learn the jankiness of this game. It definitely helps you in improving. So right now,
came down. You tried to get it. Oh, you got it. You got the blue dot. Okay. I just love that. Right. Like, I saw him jump, and I was like, I know what you're doing, and it just got thrown across the screen. Unfortunately, Silver got him, and that is a game over. But he did open the portal, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a little bit more than Fartsplosion has done.
Yeah. That's a little more.
Just a little bit.
Have to see if they learn anything about how to speak.
Radama Ford is saying everybody has made it to 3-1. Really now? Welcome to How Well I Pay Attention to Video Games, the stream.
Well,
and the answer is... This is why we have other people watching. Because I am so bad at this. And yeah, it would definitely be how many things they collected on that screen that would determine the true order, because that is a very clear sign of progress for the players. There are times, by the way, when it comes to Kusog7ande that it's not clear how much progress players have made through a level. If a level is non-linear, if a level, it's not very clear what the elements are to make progress, or if you're fighting a boss and there's no clear boss health gauge, in which case you can't really base it off of those things. You have to base it off of who made it there first. Yeah.
That's kind of an issue. Well, kind of an expected issue. I think most of these players have turned out to be really good at the game.
Blues might actually be able to get there again soon. Bright Shadow as well.
Yep.
Per Radama Ford in chat, Bright Shadow actually managed to collect everything and open up the portal, but just did not make it through the portal on 3-1. Author Blues on to 2-5. If Author Blues does manage to get there and beat the level and not die from Godzilla, then
the good thing is Author Blues is on a good set of lives. He's got 4, he had 5, so we might see something. You see, the bonus stage.
That's a lot of lives,
It's an important factor, because not only you get lives every 10,000 points, so the bonus stages most of the times are a safe way to get a new life.
Yeah.
So you may lose time, but it will eventually pay to have an extra life.
Sacrifice a little time in order to make for a longer playthrough. Yeah, I think that is a very wise decision to make.
Decision.
Silver the Hedgehog trying to get Author Blues. Looks like Author Blues has an opening for the items on the right, and he is taking that. Now, they're just the items at the bottom left. Unfortunately, Godzilla spawned out of nowhere and killed him.
Oh.
I love it. Bright Shadow also on 2-5. Bright Shadow could make another push for a PB. Let's see what he is able to do. I just love being... Like, this is sort of what I love about unlicensed games. But also, there are plenty of games back in the 80s. Oh, well, there goes off. I'm thinking like Joust. A really, really good game. Arcade style that if you're just next to the border of the screen, Pterodactyl could fly in and murder you immediately. It was a lot more standard.
Is Joust a licensed game?
No, it is licensed, but it was just as cruel as this.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Whenever you're dealing with anything that's arcade-like, you have to expect it to be absolutely brutal.
Yeah. Once again, I think the idea of not knowing what the enemies are going to do or when they're going to pop up is quite what makes this game really hard to follow through.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna side with chat. This is I'd say that this game is objectively rough. The controls are pretty bad, but at the same time, this game does have a level of charm, and I think that if I were playing this as a kid, I probably would have had fun. Author Blues on to the bonus stage. Let's see if Author Blues can score an extra life, because that would help.
It definitely needed.
Take your time.
Oof, those springs.
I love them. I love the springs, okay?
Fortunately,
and he got an extra life, though. That's really what matters here. So here we go. Author Blues back to 3-1. Is this going to be a push to move into first place? We'll have to see what Author Blues is able to do here. But don't let Silver the Hedgehog get you. You still got 2 extra lives, though, and pushing a block. Very nice.
Yeah, that's another mechanic you'll get introduced in World 3, moving platforms, which you will need for platforming purposes.
Okay. Unfortunately, Author Blues, here's the deal. The Bouncing Witch appears to spawn based off of where you are in the stage. Author Blues getting the final item, but do not let the witch get you. And that is a completion. Author Blues moves from second to first. And is currently in the lead. Very nice moves there. Woo! Hey, Concave Down is having a decent push as well. This is currently 2-4 or 2-5. I don't remember exactly. That is pretty. Yeah, that was great. Great move there.
Oh, now I see Author Blues is in 3-2 and complicated with those little levels. But I'm kind of unsure about something. I have to check out something here. But no, we still definitely have ways to go for this game. There's still a lot to go through. Okay. Nice lead. 3-3 by Author Blues. And 7 minutes left.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, I can't hear that music anymore. It's been haunting me for weeks now.
This level, this is still fairly enjoyable for me. I've been listening the entire time, and it's not bothering me yet.
No, not bothersome.
Which, honestly, I have a lot of tolerance for bad audio.
I was going to ask you...
I wouldn't even say this is bad audio. This is pretty enjoyable.
Have you gone to...
No! Well, that was great.
It happened. Still on 3-3, which is... all of them have made it to 3-1 once again, I think. I see Fart Explosion and Concave Down as well there. Concave Down has a lot of lives.
Concave Down, let's see if you're able to make a good push with that block. Yeah. 5 lives at 3-1. That is a huge possibility. Fart Explosion, unfortunately, getting a game over. That was enough possibly to move into third. But Concave has collected enough items to move back up into third place there. So, unfortunately for Fart Explosion, nope. But good push. So Concave Down, all you have to do is collect one more item and get through the portal, and you move from third into second, I believe. Okay, there we go. Portal's open. Don't want to... it's better to take it a little bit slow.
Avoid silver.
Okay, and on to 3-2. I would say that is a pretty clear second place at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. This is exciting. Lots of lead changes here.
Right on the end. Just as we like it. Game over by off. I don't think they're going to make it.
I think there's enough time to get back, possibly for one more push, but at the same time, that's pretty much, Author Blues has established the high point. Now it's up to the other players if they can pass. pass him. But with only 4 minutes left, you know, it's really difficult to say. I don't know if they are going to be able to do it. If anyone can, Concave Down has the best opportunity right now.
Concave Down is calculating their moves, but Silver Ghost is not making it easy at all.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm kind of interested in see what Concave Down does here.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We got 4 minutes left, or less than 4 minutes left going on here. So I want to see if he does make it further than off.
I like this music.
I was close to make this
stuff.
music a ringtone or a notification of sorts, but then I said no, that's not that's not the right way to do things. No. I have had so many ringtones thanks to Kusog7ande.
Oh, really?
Shadow.
Yeah, please do not make this a ringtone, okay? Anybody,
No,
if you
I will
do
not.
that, I'll be very sad.
Now the thing, I'm not sure if Concave Down should move that platform. Silver Ghost is menacing around here.
I'm just gonna beat boop this entire time, everybody. This is my life right now. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, I can't believe you would doot.
Ah. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm sorry, I've played these games for so long that most of these tunes are embedded into my brain right now. This is the other curse of being a GM when trying these games.
Oh
The
yeah.
music will haunt you. Silver Shadow is guarding the last star on Concave. Like, you have to find a way to make them move around. And I think they got it. Run,
Yeah.
run, no!
Run! Or you'll be well done! Yeah, that's fine. Well, yeah, what do you think, Soph, at this point? Does it look like we had a lead change at all?
In less than a minute? I'm not entirely sure, because I think that Concave Down would have to wait for the ghost to move elsewhere. But I don't think they might make it. Okay, Alpha is calling it quits, I think.
Yeah, it looks like
Bright
Author
Shadow
Blue's
as well.
Concave, Bright Shadow, and Fart Explosion is the order per chat. And honestly,
I have that as well.
we do allow, like, if for some reason we go and review and things have changed, you know, things were different than what we noted, we of course follow what objectively happened. But that, from what we can see, is time. Throw up your hands. This was exciting. This was absolutely thrilling. I loved this match, okay? Lots of fun. So, Author Blues comes in first, Concave second, Bright Shadow appears to be third, and Fart Explosion fourth. Let me go ahead and welcome Author Blues in to come and chat. Yeah, how do you feel that the players did?
I think that they're pretty good considering the how the game behaves. I think most of them got really trolled by the ghosts, but I was expecting them to at least make it to level 4, which is what other GMs were able to make it to, and I as well made it. Although I think it took me a little longer. So Might have been one of those things.
But honestly, you know, they were playing without the stress of being in front of other people. Look at the shoes go. They're dancing. Hey, Author Blues, congratulations. You took the victory today.
Yo, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that was exciting. Although, let's just say that you needed that last push when you managed to make it to 3-3, was it? Because otherwise, you would have been in probably third, actually, without that push. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I made it
3-4. Yeah.
I think I made it 2, 3, 4, but I didn't make any progress on it because those tracking ghosts are awful.
They're a little cruel. Was it the Silver the Hedgehog that was throwing you off? I think that's what we named it. Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the Jiangxi or the ones that go in the wave pattern, or the one that's like tracking
No, the one that like has the blue cape, sort of looks like Tella from Final Fantasy IV.
Okay, those guys had my number. I don't know if there's AI or if they're somewhat random or what, but however they're programmed, it's smarter than I am. So
yeah, I was really wondering that as well. Like what exactly is their movement? Because some people were like, "Oh, it's a fixed pattern," and I'm like, "I don't think it is."
Oh, it's definitely not a fixed pattern. It seems like it will move at random, but like slightly favor going in the direction you are on screen, unless you get close enough to it. In which case, it seems like it heavily prioritizes going in your direction. Because I mean, it could just be random, but there were a few times where I was like, I need to get this guy out of the way, and so I get really close to him and like walk him out, and it seemed like that worked okay.
Yeah, I think so. It's I think that like if other enemies did not spawn while you are trying to like get that ghost to move out of the way, it would have been a little decent. But I saw one time that you were just hanging out towards the left waiting for a stupid floaty ghost to move out of the way, and the dinosaur spawned on top of you.
Yeah. That happened a number of times. The dinosaurs are like dumb enough to get themselves killed, and then when they do, they randomly respawn. And
yeah,
that got me a few
worse,
times.
You know,
that got me a few times.
It is kind of an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time.
Yeah. It's kind of nice when you see them walk themselves off. It's like, good, I don't have to worry about them for a second. But it's kind of one of those things, better the devil you know, because as soon as they disappear, it's like, who knows when they're going to respawn and kill me.
Yeah, that's really true. There was a lot of discussion, by the way. Some people popped in and they were like, this game actually looks kind of good. Why is it in Kusog7ande? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Author Blues? Is this a good or a bad game? Or
you're asking the wrong guy.
Okay.
I'm broken enough that I'm thinking to myself, man, I kind of want to play more of this, but I don't think that that's a sign that it's a good game.
I mean, you speedrun Pears and Grey Witch. You're very broken. I gotta be honest.
It's the kind of game that it's definitely bad, but it's only bad by virtue of like some of it being unfair. I think generally it's a really well put together game. It's just like some elements to it are random enough to be intensely frustrating.
That's the right mind setup. I think most of the times when I get to play this, I struggle mostly with the AI from the enemies, and sometimes the movement itself. I saw you many times jumping, using the springs, and get hit by one of the roofs up top. It could be really mad.
Yeah, it sucks that the tracking ghosts feel like they've got a hitbox that extends like several pixels above them. You got to be really mindful of them.
Yeah, but with that said, like, for a game that's on a 20-in-1 cart, that sort of is more an arcade-style game, honestly, if I got a 20-in-1 cart and this was on it, I'd actually feel pretty satisfied.
There's way worse games on some multi-carts.
This game also, this multi-cart also has Boogeyman, which is a clone for Brush Roller, and that is not a good game.
Okay. This game is better than every game on Action 52.
Oh, yeah.
I would agree with that. I've played a little bit of all of them, and I've beaten 10 10, 12, 15, something like that. Of course, some of them like take 2 minutes to beat, so that's not necessarily bragging. I haven't beaten Silver Sword. That game sucks. Okay, Action 52 is an experience. However, better than all of the Genesis Action 52 games, that might be another question. I don't know.
This game's still better than Alpha and Pathetic.
It is, yeah, honestly. Well, Author Blues, seriously, great job. It's good to have you back. It's good to see you going and repping the bad games and kicking butt.
I took a break from a few Kusog7andes. I'm glad to be back and doing it again.
It happens. Everybody needs a little bit of a break. It's good to have you back, man.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and let you go, Mr. T. Thank you for unleashing the suffering. It was great to have you as well. Go play something better or worse. I don't know what you're going to do, Author Blues, but I'm sure there's regret involved, so go and regret it.
That's just my life, man. All right.
Oh, yeah. It's good life.
Enjoy the
for
rest of the
having me.
matches today.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.
Well, everybody, we have one more match today. I'm going to go ahead and run a quick ad and stand up and stretch my legs and run to the restroom because I gotta. We will be back with our final match of the day. Stay tuned.